Dr. Tina Peterson, Commissioner Lesley Briones, Reverend Preston Greenwalt, Jan Adam, and then we'll have closing remarks from Commissioner Briones. We'd also like to acknowledge some of our very honored guests here. We want to welcome and say good morning to State Representative Schofield with District 132, and also Mr. David Drake, who is with Cinco Mud 7. Thank you for being here. And now with that, please help me welcome the Executive Director of Harris County's Flood Control District, Dr. Tina Peterson.
Well, good morning. Welcome to this really amazing opportunity that we have this morning to recognize an important infrastructure investment being made in the Barker Reservoir watershed. As Sion said, my name is Tina Peterson. I'm the Executive Director of the Harris County Flood Control District. And I really want to start today first by recognizing Commissioner Briones, who has been a steadfast voice for advocating for flood infrastructure as well as sustained funding for our maintenance programs. So for years, there was critical maintenance that we needed to accomplish across our flood control systems, but those projects were delayed or couldn't be executed because there wasn't a dedicated funding source that allowed us to work on this. But that has changed. And so thanks to Commissioner Briones, her commitment, we have a dedicated funding source for the Flood Control District to maintain our infrastructure. We're able to move more quickly and take care of these long overdue investments that are needed. We're strengthening infrastructure in our community, and these are channels, these are creeks, these are outfalls that our community relies on every day. So this region has been impacted by storms over the last 10 years, with Hurricane Harvey being obviously the most memorable. That storm sent sediment into the channels within the Barker Reservoir, and it was unprecedented amounts of sediment that caused sediment accumulation in some areas, as well as severe erosion in other areas. So in response to these storms, the Flood Control District did stand up multiple restoration projects along these channels funded by FEMA, as well as a 2018 bond program. But that work was not enough, and we knew that more work was needed. And so today, we are able to kick off this additional major maintenance work along these channels in the Barker Reservoir to restore and rehabilitate our flood infrastructure. This work represents a $10 million investment over the next 5 years to address this long deferred and much needed maintenance. And this project is just one example of the work that is happening across Harris County, thanks to the increased investments in our maintenance infrastructure. And so I am proud now to introduce Commissioner Lesley Briones. And I want to say thank you to her and the Precinct 4 team for their partnership and their support in making projects like this happen in this community. It is a much needed project, and I want to say thank you. And also now, it is my honor to introduce Commissioner Lesley Briones and invite her to say a few words about this very important project. Commissioner.
Good morning, everyone. Can we please say a warm Texas thank you to Dr. Peterson and all of the Harris County Flood Control District team members, and to all of my Harris County Precinct 4 team members who work tirelessly every day with heart, hustle, and higher standards. I thank you today and always. And Representative Schofield, thank you for your leadership and for fighting and representing our community in Austin. And as proud Texans, we stand here today because we all vividly remember Harvey and the numerous other disasters that we've all had to endure. And what we are doing today is showing how we're taking action, how we are delivering progress and delivering protection. Specifically, right here at this Barker Channel Maintenance Program, what we are doing will help over 100,000 people. These are projects that have real impact on people's lives, on people's homes, on people's property. Over 100,000 people will be impacted. This is a $10 million investment. 3.25 miles of channel will be repaired. There will be 1.1 miles of new storm pipe. We will use 30,000 tons of rock to help rehabilitate the channel. There will be 25 back slope structures that will be strengthened, and we will have over 4,000 cubic yards in terms of of all of the sediment. So we can go on with all the metrics, but the bottom line is that we know that Addicks and Barker are two of the most dangerous dams in the country. And we know that multiple steps have been taken and will be taken to keep y'all safe. So taking a step back, Harris County Commissioners Court, in partnership with the state of Texas, and I want to give a special shout out to our General Land Office Commissioner Don Buckingham, who's been a tremendous partner in making sure we're taking action. So we are delivering numerous, literally billions of dollars in capital projects, new projects to keep you and your family safe. And to this both and that I live my life by, the and is this maintenance investment. So in 2024, unanimously across partisan lines and with overwhelming support, again showing this bipartisan commitment to flood mitigation, the voters of Harris County voted in favor of having a special dedicated fund for additional maintenance. And I'll be very frank, until we as a community took this action together in 2024, just to level set, Harris County Flood Control District was on a replacement cycle of 270 years. I'm a mom, so I think of everything in terms of generations. That was basically, we were maintaining for our eight great-grandchildren. Best practices is closer to around 67-year cycle. Because we came together as Texans, as Harris County residents, across party lines and passed this investment, we are now on track for the approximate 67-year replacement cycle. That is huge because it is a both and. We need to deliver these new projects, which we are doing, and we need to make sure that our approximate 2,500 miles of channel are prepared to do their job, whether it's removing sediment, whether it's strengthening the walls and the linings of the channel. We need to make sure that we are doing everything possible to keep you and your family safe. Now, I'll give a few examples. Again, we have dozens and dozens of projects across the county, but I'll just focus on 3 examples here in Precinct 4. One, the Addicks Channel restoration. This is a $25 million investment that will help approximately 400,000 people. It's currently underway. We are working on that as we speak. Number 2, Keegan's Bayou project. It will start construction this summer 2026. It's about a $15 million investment, and that will help reduce flood risk for about 500 structures. And the third example that I will give for today is the Dinner Creek project. That's a $43 million investment. That will help over 43,000 people, and that is a summer 2026 project. I encourage you to visit Harris County Flood Control District to see the myriad of projects across Harris County, both our capital projects and the maintenance projects. And I take this so personally, to be frank, and I know all of us here do. And most importantly, I thank you for your patience, your persistence, and your passion for making sure we're coming together as Harris County residents to get this done. Because I know we all have our horror stories of what happened to our homes, to our families, to our friends, to our churches. And we know it's going to happen again. We need to be as prepared as possible. And that's what we're doing here. We're taking care of business and we're delivering progress and protection. So I'll do this. Thank you very much I know Spanish language media is here, so I'll do a very brief version in Spanish. Buenos días a todos. Soy Lesley Briones, su comisionada del Condado Jerez, Precinto 4. Y aquí estoy con la doctora Peterson de Harris County Flood Control District. Estamos aquí en Barker porque estamos cumpliendo con progreso y protección. En el Condado Jerez sabemos que las inundaciones son inevitables. Harvey nos mostró lo que pasa cuando no estamos preparados. Yo misma vi como las comunidades aquí de esta zona y por todo el condado, comunidades como Nottingham Country y Kellywood quedaron bajo el agua. Por eso es tan importante asegurarnos de que estemos listos para la próxima gran tormenta. Agradecemos a los residentes, a nuestros vecinos, por respaldar esta inversión. En noviembre de 2024, nuestra comunidad votó a favor de aprobar los fondos de mantenimiento. Antes de la proposición A, reemplazar nuestra infraestructura tomaba 270 años. Hoy, gracias a ustedes, gracias a la comunidad, gracias a esta inversión, lo hemos reducido a 67 años. El programa de mantenimiento del canal Barker, este proyecto ya está en marcha. Después de más de 12 tormentas en 25 años, este canal necesitaba reparaciones. Por eso estamos invirtiendo $10 millones para fortalecer su infraestructura y proteger a más de 112,000 personas que viven por esta zona. En estos años vamos a estar trabajando en 8 puntos claves, estos 8 puntos para rehabilitar más de 3 millas de canal, instalar 9 tuberías pluvial y también reforzar el sistema con 30,000 toneladas de roca para que sea más fuerte a la próxima cuando viene un huracán o otra tormenta. Este canal va a funcionar mejor por este trabajo. Y también estamos trabajando por todo el condado Jerez y voy a dar unos ejemplos de aquí del precinto 4. Estamos fortaleciendo la protección contra inundaciones en todo el precinto 4. Por ejemplo, en el canal Arex estamos invirtiendo $25 millones para la restauración que ayudará a más de 390,000 personas y 14,5 millones en Keegan's Bayou para reducir el riesgo de inundaciones en más de 500 estructuras y 43 millones en Dinner Creek para mejorar la protección en nuestras comunidades. Ya viene la temporada de huracanes y sabemos todos lo que hemos sufrido como en el condado Jerez y por eso hoy y cada día estamos tomando acción. Es momento de fortalecer la preparación ante desastres y nuestra resiliencia frente a las inundaciones. Con la cooperación del estado de Texas, y aquí hoy tenemos el representante Schofield, que nos ayuda mucho, y también quiero dar las gracias a la comisionada John Buckingham del General Land Office. Esta es la responsabilidad del gobierno. Y aquí el gobierno local estamos trabajando cada día para ustedes. Estamos cumpliendo hoy y todos los días para nuestras familias. Y en fin, como mamá, tomo esto sumamente seriamente. Porque yo recuerdo muy bien cómo nosotros como comunidad sufrimos durante el huracán Harvey, Beryl, Derecho, tantas tormentas. Y tenemos que siempre estar unidos en tomando acción para mejorar la protección para nuestras familias. So thank you again. Today we're here showing how Harris County is taking decisive action, working relentlessly to deliver progress and protection, because that's what you and your families deserve. And to all the community members, I look around and I know so many of you, and those who I don't know, I look forward to getting to know. This is about our families. This is about making Harris County the best it can be, as safe as it can be. And I just appreciate your partnership, and it's the honor of my life to serve. With that, please help us welcome our Reverend Preston Greenwald from St. Peter's United Methodist Church, another great public servant and leader in our community.
Commissioner, I'm proud to say that my children are teaching me Spanish. I'm going to need you to do that all again, much slower this time, so I can get part of it. That sounds great. I represent a church that the founding members 50 years ago said it was a race to see whether Taylor High School or the church was going to finish first. And my first introduction to Katy, Texas, just a few months ago, my son is in the Taylor High School marching band, and during Marchathon, when it's a great idea, 150 degrees outside, and the band marches outside for hours. It's awesome. But I was there and I got to experience one of the commissioner's great infrastructure projects. Right outside the church, a brand new beautiful sidewalk is built. And she made that happen for us with all of the support of the taxpayers. And I'm watching the band come down in 115-degree heat. And here comes a tuba down the brand new sidewalk. And I said, I'm so thankful. I'm thankful that we're here for this one tuba that's got to have the worst job in the whole day as they're coming down the sidewalk. I will tell you that another amazing thing that I love about what we do together as a community is how we invest in each other. In that Taylor Marching Band, there were several graduates of the ECDC, which is a day school that in 1980 at St. Peter's was planted before there really were schools around Kingsland Boulevard. And that preschool helped to educate and raise all of those children that were then marching in the band. And it shows and proves to us how when we invest in people, amazing things happen. In Harvey, during the Hurricane Harvey, St. Peter's was very active at opening its doors, passing out flood buckets to people, being there to help pass out clothing that was coming in from all over the state of Texas to be a center where people who were hurting, people who were scared, people who had lost everything could come and find a place of relief. And every single one of those people had a name. Every single one of those people had family. And they were all members of this precinct. They were all citizens of somewhere around Katy or this city that we live in. And it's amazing because all of those people, well, they needed help. I think today what I'm so proud of is looking at the infrastructure that's being talked about. This is a great day for infrastructure. I live in Green Trails. I'm really excited that this is going in right now. But I also will tell you that it's really not about institutions and infrastructure. What we've done today and together as a community and what Commissioner Briones is doing for us is to help blaze a path about how we invest in people down the road. Because all of the people and all the houses and all of the sheetrock and all of the communities that we're protecting by this effort, well, they're all community and houses that people live in them with names and with families and with a story. And as a church, as a pastor, that's what I think is most important in this world, is how we value each other and how we learn from each other and how when things are hard, we say, hey, we're here for you. And that's what St. Peter's is here to do. But I'll also tell you that days like this are important because we're not just investing in today and we're not just investing into next week, but it's like watching those children grow up and carry a tuba in the 30-degree heat, whatever it's going to be outside in Texas this August. We invest in the future of each other. So I hope today that we can celebrate and be thankful. From my perspective, we're doing exactly what God is asking us to do right here in Holy Week and invest in the hope of our community and invest in the hope of who we are with each other as we take this journey together. And I'm so thankful that we get to be here with Commissioner Briones and to celebrate how we're investing in the people of Katy. I have the great privilege of introducing to you an incredible resident of Katy, the people that make Katy what it is. Jan Adam is going to come and just share a few words of what it is to live here and to be one of those people that we've been investing in for years and who has given her life to invest in her neighbors.
Thank you, Reverend.
Good morning. Thank you, Reverend and Lesley, for being here and for continuing the fight for the Mason Creek repairs our community has needed for so long. My husband and I live in Kellywood Estates on Sand Hollow Lane. During Hurricane Harvey, we watched every day. This was our routine. We'd walk down the street and watch how far has the water come up. It rose slowly from the back of our subdivision up to our street, but not on it. We were fortunate. The water did not reach our house, but many families in this area were not so lucky. They suffered terrible losses, and the effects stayed with them long after the storm was over. For those of us who lived through it, Harvey was not just a storm. It was a reminder of how vulnerable our neighborhoods can be and how important it is to invest in real solutions before the next major flood event arrives. That is why today matters. These repairs to Mason Creek represent more than construction. They represent protection, progress, and peace of mind for the families who live here. They represent hope that our community will be safer and stronger in the future. We are so truly thankful for Commissioner Briones. She has stayed committed to this effort and has kept pushing to make these much needed projects happen. It's her leadership that gives this community hope, and we are grateful. Thank you. You come back.
Thank you so much, Jan, for your words. I love how you put it. Progress, protection, and peace of mind. So thank you, and thanks to every community member who's here, every community member that for years has been pushing and advocating for the community. So thank you so much. Miss Adam, and to Mr. Adam, her better half who is here. Although I think Mrs. Adam is probably the better half, as you know, Mr. Adam. And to our Reverend Greenwald, thank you for what you do to give us all peace of mind and to bring us together in unity. So in closing, as we look at this map and the major locations that will be affected, know that we will be working relentlessly. We will make sure that the 4,300 cubic yards of sediment that we remove, that the storm pipes that we're installing, again, to us, this is so much more than the sediment we're removing. It really is about the protection that you and your families deserve. So in closing, thank you for your partnership. Know that we will continue on this both and. We will continue delivering these new, intense capital projects, and we will be maintaining all of the current infrastructure so that we're maximizing the protection. We know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, and we know that this infrastructure works, which we saw Project Braze after Beryl. So thank you for all of the hardworking Harris County Flood Control District team members and all of the contractors and partners who assist. And to my Precinct 4, I appreciate you so very much. And I'll end with a story that I share sometimes. And for those new friends, I just shared it. But I was very, very pregnant with my third child during Harvey. And she was due right around that time. And I remember just being petrified. Because by the grace of God, my home didn't flood, but everywhere in my neighborhood was flooded, and there's no way I could have gotten to a hospital. And so I really was like preparing, what if I have to have her in the bathtub? What am I going to do? Well, and again, by the grace of God, she stayed in me and was ultimately born in a hospital safely. But she's my visual reminder. She's 8. Or 8.5, as she would correct me, because you know how kids are so proud of the half if you have kids. She's 8.5, so she's my visual reminder of the time on the clock that has been going. And again, we know it's just a matter of time. And so thank you for your relentlessness and making sure that we're taking decisive action, and that Harris County is working collaboratively with the state of Texas, all of the cities in this region, and with the federal government. This is an all hands on deck. And so I hope we can continue uniting as proud Harris County residents, as proud Texans, and as proud Americans, because in unity we will get so much further in delivering the progress, protection, and peace of mind, I love that our families deserve. So thank you.